Welcome into the Big Red Pregame Show. Week 5, here to preview what some would consider a rivalry game against Father Ryan this Friday. Warren, Simon, how are we feeling for Friday night?
I feel good. I feel real good.
I'm excited to go out or watch my boys go out on Friday. I probably won't be playing, but I can't watch my brothers fight.
So, it's no secret. We're not going to try and beat around the bush here. 3-game losing streak. What's been the message in the locker room? Has it been trust the process, row the boat, or we got to change something?
Really, we're just a few plays away from being 3-1. I think we should beat Pregame. We could beat McCallie, and we didn't play too well last Friday, to be honest. But we're so close. We just fixed a few key things. We're right there.
We had a little senior meeting to kind of talk about like these past 4 games, and one thing I said was that CPA game was our first real loss, because Simon was saying we were just a few plays away in both games. We had fourth quarter leads going into both of those, and I just think that this game could be a little show game for us, show what we really have.
In the past, Father Ryan has liked to come on to our campus before the Friday night game and, pull a couple mischievous stunts here and there. Does that fire y'all up? Like, any words for that? Maybe a prediction for one of their stunts this year?
In a way, it does fire me up a little bit, because they haven't been able to beat us in the past, so they gotta try to hurt our campus and the places we love to try to get at us in a way that they can't do on the field.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Warren.
All right, so now I'm going to get back into the football talk. I'm going to talk to Simon on my left, who's on the defensive line for the Big Red, about Father Ryan's offense.
Yeah, their O-line, they're not huge, but they work really well together, and they play hard. They got a quarterback with a pretty strong arm, some fast wide receivers, and our secondary's really trying to step up their game, and they've been playing well and get better every week, but that's going to be a big thing for us this week.
Now, Warren, same question for you, except on their defense side of the ball.
They got some pretty athletic corners, nothing like we haven't seen before in Pearl and McCallie. They got really solid linebackers, a pretty good D-line. Not sure how experienced they are. Got some guys going D1 on that side of the ball, but I think we'll be able to run down their throats and pass them when we need to.
All right, so I'm curious from the both of you had fathers that went to Father Ryan. Both of you grew up in those parochial elementary schools. I'm curious, what was kind of the perception of NBA from Father Ryan people?
Personally, I really didn't like NBA. I didn't want to come to NBA at all. I was a big Father Ryan guy, 5th, 6th grade, but then my brother got an NBA and I got an NBA, and we just kind of came here and fell in love with it. Really glad I came here.
I'm kind of the same way. Up until like halfway through 8th grade, I didn't know I was coming here. My parents were just like, you got in, go for it. And at first I was shaky if I wanted to do this, but I think the brotherhood I got connected with on the football team has really kept me at this school and made me prosper.
So, boys, what has the urgency level been this week? And coming off 3 straight losses, haven't lost to Father Ryan, since I was born. And it's a region game. This matters. Playoffs are always a question mark. What's going on there?
This is a must-win game. I used to say we haven't lost to Father Ryan, and I don't even know how long. But I feel like a lot of the guys aren't really thinking of keeping that streak alive. They're trying to get a game back in the region just so we can fight and have a good chance of making the playoffs and having a high seed after taking a loss to McCallie in the region play.
Yeah, I think we won it, but I also think at the end of the day, we're going to treat it like any other game. Like, they're no different. We've played better teams. We're going to play better teams, but we also can't underestimate them. They're a good team, and if you underestimate any team in this league, you're going to get rolled over.
Warren, obviously, off-season injury. What's it been like to kind of have to start on the sideline this year? Leadership in a new way, I guess. Talk me through how that's been.
The second ACL tear in August, 2 weeks before the first game, it really killed me. I had my head pretty low, but after being with the receivers, and there's some great play by Hutton Durrett, the sophomore wide receiver, it's been honestly a blessing but a curse to be able to coach these kids up and talk them through different ways to run routes, and hopefully I'll be able to get back out there and get a brace on soon enough.
Simon is someone who didn't start the season, jumping into that role last week. What was that like, kind of, first game out there?
It was fun. Really getting more of a big role instead of just kind of rotating in here and there a couple plays a game. It was different. Definitely a lot at first, but after a couple plays, all kind of goes away and you kind of start, instinct takes over and you start playing.
So we did this last week. Try it again. Maybe it'll work better this time. The Big Red win on Friday
if we can get 11 helmets on the ball every play and just play as a team, play together, do our jobs.
If everyone gets their blocks and the receivers have speed with their releases and routes.
Brad, have we got a message for the Dog Pound before we transition into game picks?
Guys, y'all been loud, been there every game, been doing a great job, and I just want to say, let's be there Friday. We need the boys to pick up a regional win here. We need it really bad. We have not got news on what we are doing, but I assume we will be painting up if weather permits. So that's something to look forward to, and roll red, boys.
After a huge win last week, there's going to be a big West Region matchup between Innsworth, who's going to be hosting Memphis University School. They were able to beat Christian Brothers, also from Memphis. Can they do the same to the Memphis University School Owls?
I'll start this one off, boys. I think absolutely the Tigers are going to get this done against MUS. MUS is a pretty good football team, but have not had as much depth as they normally have. Ainsworth, with Levi being their new quarterback, can absolutely sling the ball. He's a great player, and I think he's going to be too much for the MUS defense. I got the Tigers winning 34-14.
Wow. I also got Tigers with the momentum they've been having these past couple weeks. I say Tigers 34-28. Close one.
Yeah, Levi's really turned the corner before the season. I honestly didn't have high hopes for him, and he just keeps proving me wrong. And no one likes those Owls down in Memphis, and I think the Tigers are going to roll through them.
I agree with all the boys. I think that Innsworth has so much speed and quickness out there at receiver. They're big and strong, and they steamrolled Christian Brothers, who's a pretty solid team. So I think it'll be I'm going to go 42-21 Tigers.
Out in Chattanooga, McCallie and Knoxville Catholic both 1-0 in the East Region. Winner's going to be in the driver's seat. Who wins?
Wow, I'm just going to go ahead and start. This is a dog of a game. I mean, this is an unbelievable football game. Knox Catholic being a great, notorious football team, McCallie being an even better football team. Both have been playing well over these last 5 to 10 years. And I think Knox Catholic is going to go to Chattanooga and get it done big. Knox Catholic has just been, they're just amazing. They're a great football team. McCallie, I saw them out on our field. They were not as impressive as I thought. I think Knox Catholic gets it done 42-3.
I think I'm going to go a different route. I think McCallie's going to take this one. Knox Catholic, they're good. They got players, but McCallie is a very fundamentally sound team with big guys up front and quickness everywhere. So I'm going to go McCallie in a close one, 24-21.
Wow.
I'm just going to say I am not a fan of the Blue Tornadoes whatsoever. Not a fan of their football program. I don't think they're beating Knox Catholic. I'm backing up Brad on this one, and I'm going to stick with his game score prediction as well. I love that.
I'm going with Warren. I think McCallie's going to roll. They've won state the past couple of years. Great defense. I don't think they lose to Knox Catholic. I think it's going to be close. Maybe, I don't know, 14-21.
St. Benedict's had a horrific start to this year at 0-4. They're going to roll into Brentwood Academy on Friday. Can they get a win?
I think especially with the loss of Walter Nolan, St. Benedict is going to roll the Eagles.
I highly disagree with you there. I was watching the BA-CPA game. I know they lost that, but they're an athletic team, and they've got guys who are pretty shifty out there. They're definitely winning that game by a lot.
I'm going to piggyback on Andrew. I think BA is going to win that game by a lot. Not much else to say. Have not seen much St. Benedict film, but just seeing the record at 0-4, I just don't have much faith in them.
I agree with Brad and Andrew. I think BA will win by 28 points at least, but I don't think it'll be that ugly of a game for St. Benedict.
All right, JP2 undefeated. The Knights are going to take that 4-0 record out to Chattanooga to take on Baylor. Just suffered a tough loss to Knoxville Catholic. Can Baylor get back on the right track and end the undefeated season of JP2?
Absolutely not. As Andrew said, JP2 is going to win every single football game until they come to our house on homecoming, and we will be handing them their first loss. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I agree with Brad. JP2's on a roll. They look real good. I think Baylor's kind of down on themselves, and I don't think they're going to blow them out.
The Knights are moving, and they will stop here, but they are moving as of now. Baylor is not winning that game. Knights by 50.
I'll piggyback on Andrew. Knights by 50. Their offense is so explosive. I've heard they've suffered some losses at defense from COVID and injuries, but offense is too good. Knights by 50.
All right, rematch of last year's SEC championship. Alabama going down to Florida. Can the Gators end? How many games did the Crimson Tide run in a row? It's been a lot.
It's too many.
There is absolutely zero chance Florida wins this football game. Alabama is the best team in the country, and it's not even close. Alabama will win. I'm going to go 48-21.
20 piece. 20 piece. Alabama is going to win by 20 or more. If you didn't know, it's a tradition down in Alabama to beat teams bad. I mean, it's just what they do. I mean, the Crimson Tide is going to steamroll the Gators, and I mean, I'm not huge fans of either program, but when Florida gets beat, I'm a happy man.
Yeah, there's one team I hate more than Alabama, and that's the Florida Gators. This week, I'm going Roll Tide, Bama by 14, 21, beat down.
Yeah, no Trask, no Pitts, no Tony. I mean,
No chance.
yeah, there's no way. The Gators aren't going to be chomping on the Tide. They're losing. They're losing that football game.
All right, the other big team in Alabama, led by first-year coach Brian Harsin. They scored 60 in their first two games, not against great competition. It's going to be a whole different animal Saturday night going to the whiteout against Penn State. Can the Tigers get it done?
You said Auburn has put up big numbers against like Akron and some other bum team. I don't think that Auburn will be able to handle the whiteout noise. Penn State by. I'm gonna say it's close. I'm gonna go 37-31.
I'm gonna have to agree with Warren. The whiteout atmosphere at Penn State is probably one of the top 5 loudest things. I mean, you can be in. Talking to one of my good friends, Slick Nick, earlier this week. Nicky Bennett, aka Slick Nick, great man, one of the greatest men I know on the Hill. He's a huge Nittany Lions fan. Loves the Nittany Lions, and he says it's not even going to be close. And he follows the Nittany Lions. I don't, so I'm gonna have to agree with him. He says they're going to win by 28. They're going to win by 32.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go with Brad and Slick Nick here. Lions by 1,000.
As long as Bo Nix is the starting quarterback for all the Auburn Tigers, the Nittany Lions will be winning this football game.
All right, there's a lot of words you could use to describe the Titans' performance last Sunday.
My goodness.
Well, we have kinder words to say about their performance next week after they play in Seattle against the 12th man.
I'm going to start this one off. If I had one word to describe the Titans-Cardinals game, I would use pain. I did shed a couple tears after that game. I was expecting a huge win. Kyler Murray did impress me, but he's not that good of a football player. He's more of a running back type. He's not a QB. And I'm just disappointed that we lost that big. So now, Titans go into the 12th man. To Seattle. I'm going to ride with my Titans again. I think the Titans are going to win big. We're mad about that loss. We're going to come in with some hype, with some fury. And my prediction is Taylor Lewan will be on the left bench this week. Thank you.
Wow, I don't know about the left bench, but I agree, Brad. I think Titans, they had the first game jitters. They were kind of all over the place. This week, I think Vrabel's going to get them right. I think they'll come out firing off the ball and putting the ball in the end zone.
Yes.
I hate to disagree, but I think that the Titans are going to be suffering too much from that. Got Bobby Wagner, a linebacker, and Derrick Henry, running back, and I don't even know who the linebackers were for Arizona, and they were stuffing Derrick in the backfield. And I just think that Seahawks are going to win this game.
You know, I was at that football game, and it was sad. It was sad to see, and I hated to see it so early. Taylor Lewan with some bummy plays there, and I mean, I got to stick with the Titans. They're going to Seattle,
Yes.
and they are winning against Seattle, 21-10. And you know what else? DK Metcalf is going to have the only touchdown for the Seahawks, and he's going to help me get a fantasy win.
Boys, how do we fare fantasy week 1? I'm curious.
I'm actually going to start. I'm actually tied up. Or actually, I'm up 138 to 128, and it's a tight end showdown tonight. I have Mr. Waller. He has Mr. Andrews. It's going to be a great matchup, so I'm about to go home, watch that. I'm very excited about it. I'm feeling that Waller's going to show him who's boss. Andrews is just not that good of a tight end. Waller's going to win me the fantasy league, and I'm going to be having a great rest of my evening, and then I'm going to watch a Harry Potter once I am finished with that game.
Which Harry Potter?
I'm going to go with the Sorcerer's Stone, number 1 tonight.
Bold choice.
Representing my colors, too. Hogwarts, right there. School of Wizardry and Witchcraft.
Brad, that sounds like a lovely evening. Unfortunately, after my tough second-place loss to Nate Cantrell last year, I decided to sit this year out. I'm not doing fantasy.
Wow.
Too much heartbreak.
So I have 2 games going on at once at the moment. One versus 76 for the Big Red, John Wright Kesting, and I'm in a commanding lead against him currently. There's absolutely no chance that he wins that. And very, very unfortunately, I believe it was rigged to some extent. Maxwell Potts edged me out by about 2 points in a different league.
Wow.
Pretty frustrating to lose to a guy like Maxwell. Yeah, I mean, he knows he got lucky, but yeah, Warren.
Then the sniper Dallas.
3JD.
The sniper.
Could not handle my team, led by, I believe, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah. I had him, too.
And then I'm losing. I lost in another league.
week.
Cooper Kupp could not come in clutch. I lost by maybe 1 point. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm having a rough week losing to our dear punter and Nickelback, Ryan Schmacke. Unless we could have a furious rally from whatever the Oakland Kicker's name. I don't even know his name.
Carlson.
That's
Yes.
the one.
He's going to win you that game.
A
I hope
huge
so. I hope
day.
so. All right, last question before we head out. If Brad was in a Hogwarts house, which house would Brad be in?
I'm going to start this out. Y'all better say Gryffindor, please, and thank you.
I gotta say, with the brains on this guy, he's nothing but Ravenclaw.
Oh, goodness.
I'd throw him in the most irrelevant Hogwarts house, Hufflepuff.
Goodness.
I mean, as student body president, I'm going Gryffindor. He's
Thank you.
a great leader.
Thank you.
That's about it, though.
And then
Hufflepuff material.
on a serious note, before we close, I would just like to give a quick tribute and moment of silence to the 13 fallen soldiers who were killed in the Kabul airport, the 10 Marines, 2 Army officers, and 1 naval officer. So if we could have 5 seconds moment just to think about that. Thank y'all.
All right, well, on that note, we'd love to see you Friday night, 7 o'clock. Tommy Owen, as always. Big game against Father Ryan. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.